and today I'm doing a review for an RDA that was sent to me for the purpose of review. This was sent to me by Origin Vape, and it is an innovative and unique new design for an RDA. It surprised me. This is the GOON RDA. Let me hold that up again for you. By 528 Customs. You know them for the that big tank they make, the Monster V1, V2, V3. This is 528 Customs in collaboration with Blue Eyed Goon from Instagram, a very well-known coil builder. Well, he came up with this design that's able to handle very large builds, very complex builds, big fat Claptons for these frame staple Claptons and alien Claptons that are coming out that are just very, very thick wire, and they're difficult to try and squeeze through the normal standard post holes. Well, this one has a vise-like post design, so instead of trying to fit your lead ends through holes, you're actually pushing them through the blocks on this vise on either positive or negative, and then you just clamp down the screws, so you can take some very big wire, some very big builds. You also get a perfectly balanced connection by doing it that way instead of having them overlap within the post. I'll show you in the close-ups why this works so well, why you get perfect contact with your wire, with your coils, and a great vape. Here you go, here's the close-ups. And thanks again to Origin Vape for sending this to me for review. This is the GOON RDA from 528 Custom Vapes and Blue Eyed Goon on Instagram. Collaboration comes in this felt pouch, these little drawstrings over here. Just going to do a close-up, show you this RDA. Comes with 4 extra post screws and 4 extra O-rings. That's it. You don't need anything more than that. Here's the RDA airflow. Very Illuminati-esque. Here we go, 528 Custom GOON. Serial number 1952. You got a copper 510 connection. Protrudes very nicely from the negative housing. I don't know what that screw's all about. Drip tip, nice wide drip tip. Pressed in there. O-ring on the inside, like the Kennedy. O-ring snugly seated in there. And the top of this, very nice. Okay, so let's have a look. Here's our airflow options for single coil or dual coil. Here's our deck. This is a very unique deck. This is, I've heard it described as the best RDA of all time because of the way you can connect, make contact with your coils. So let's just tighten this down over here. I'll show you the unique design of this. Okay, this is brass, comes in stainless, comes in copper. Here is what is unique about this. Instead of having post holes, you have these plates. So you slide your wire across the top, and as long as you clamp down these plates to lock down your coil legs, you're good, which means you can get an even distribution of pressure and contact on your coils instead of trying to fit them through the hole. This is the best way of clamping down a wire. And this is really smooth. The machining on this is perfect. Threading on this, very nice. Very nicely finished. Okay, so that screw there is to remove the positive. That's the positive. Right there. You have a positive side. No, that's the negative. This is the positive. Okay, the positive is the contact with the 510. Comes up through the bottom to here. It's insulated from the deck, which is the negative, and this is the negative. So, okay, so you can remove the positive post, you can remove the negative post if you strip this out and need to replace it. Very nice. Let's take a look at these post holes, what these screws are screwing into. Let's see what the threading looks like there. All right, very nice and smooth. Okay, well tooled. So this is what's going to clamp in, and it's got like this beveled edge. It's very nice. Nothing rough. Nothing's going to slice into your wires. Very nicely done. Okay, it's very smart. It's an innovative, unique design. I like it. So we're going to build it. We're going to vape on it and talk about it. I don't know if I'm really going to record a build. Maybe I'll just talk about it more. The main thing is this. With these slots and this unique, innovative design, you can now clamp down any sized coils, any sized combination of coils. You don't have to fit. You could do some parallels. You can do some really big coil builds and still make great contact and not have to try and jam them through a post hole or share a post hole. You just have to be able to get it through that slot. So that's wonderful. Look at that design. Okay, we'll go back up top and vape on it after I built it. Okay, so for this build, I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just using some pre-made Clapton wire that I happen to have. Oh, it's Geek Vape. Look at that. Geek Vape knows better. Do they really? This is Canthal 26 gauge, 32 gauge. Okay. We'll use some Geek Vape pre-made Clapton wire, which is pretty good so far. I've been using. I don't need to really use the jig post. This thing, I can wrap these 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll do a 6 wrap. 6 wrap. That's good. Yeah, wrapping them by hand is fine. These are going to get cleaned up once they're in on the deck. That's good enough for me. So we're doing a 6 wrap. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Done. There we go. It's good. If you're doing big frame staple Claptons, then yes, you definitely need to take these and bend one so that it's pointing the right direction. Of course, they don't bend easily. This is just a nice, supple little regular old Clapton. Nothing fancy about this, so I don't need to pre-bend them. All right. Pretty simple there, right? That's exactly where I want my coil. And then pretty simple here. So who gets scissored inside whose legs over here is, I guess, the question. Who gets to scissor who? It's a matter of scissoring dominance. I don't know. I don't know how anybody ever figures out who gets top leg in the scissoring position. Whatever. If you're a South Park fan, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. There's nothing wholesome. Alright. That's it. It's ugly, but I'm going to tighten these down and then clean them up. And then if I need to pull some slack out, so be it. I think the main thing here is that you go, kind of like when you're tightening down the lug nuts on your car, you want to go a little bit a little bit. You have to get one side and then the other. Oh, this is so nice because it's just going to press them flat. Like these guys don't even need to be pushed up against each other. Jammed in. There's so much room. All right. That's good enough for me. I'm satisfied I have good contact. And since it's not a screw, like guillotining down, and you have no fear of chopping these leads. It's so nice. Really just a refreshing way of doing coils. Genius. Look how easy that was. Leads are all out of the way of each other. Okay. These were the not dominant scissor positioned coils. So they came out a little on the inside. I don't think that makes much of a difference. All right, let's see what we're looking at here. You got one coil. Yeah, there's way too much slack. Those pulled way the hell out away from the deck, but I needed to take the slack out, so no worries. Let's loosen up. Loosen, 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 loosen. Good. Pull this guy tighter in. Okay, I'm pushing them right up close to the deck because I'm going to pull that slack out again and then maybe have them 2-3 millimeters off the deck when I'm done. I'm guessing. Good. Good. Okay. They're good. That's good. Good enough. I'm not a perfectionist. All right, there we go. And here's the other one. There it is. Got it. Okay, so here are my coils. They're not looking very pretty just yet. I have to clean them up a little. We got 6 wraps, Claptons. I'm going to pulse these at 35 watts. That's enough. That's all I need. Just to get a little bit of heat into the metal. Start them going. This little clipped end here. Just going to bend that up out of the way. Good.
Beautiful. Those are good. They're fine. Those don't need to be messed with anymore. They don't. They're in. Get them looking like that, they're good. Okay, got one.
So there you have it, guys. A nice close-up look at the GOON RDA from Geek Vape, and a nice quick build using some pre-made Clapton wire that I had. But that's the build. This is a really nice vape. It's got a nice deep juice well. That's about as easy a deck as you can build on of anything I've ever seen so far. I really like that it compresses the wire to trap it instead of like guillotining the wire. You'll never run the risk of snapping your leads. Probably one of the smartest designed RDAs that I've seen yet. Let's take a look at it on some mech mods. I had it on my DNA 200, giving me 100 watts. Let's go ahead and matchy up here with the TVL brass and black Cerakoted one. I love this mod. I had my Kennedy on there. Got a feeling this is going to be, oh, this is a contender. It's about 1 millimeter short, but close enough. That looks really nice on there. A bit big of a build for a mech mod, but you know, if I built lower sub-ohm, if I did a better build for a mech mod, this thing would be chucking. Look how nice that is. It's a little, not quite flush. It's a little too narrow for that. Okay, so what would it fit nicely on? I got something over here. Now I'm inspired to go clean my Able mod, which is looking really dark and oxidized right now. But oh, look at that. This is going to sit still not perfectly flush, but that's a nice matchup on the Able. Pretty good. Pretty good contender. Bit big of a build. If I were going to do this, I would probably have gone 5 wrap for a mech mod, but I'm not planning on vaping the GOON. I wanted a bigger build. I want to crank 100, 120 watts into this. So it looks nice on the Able. My Able needs a little cleaning now. I got my Rogue. Let's go see how this lines up. Oh, that looks pretty good on there too. Again, it's not a 24 millimeter, it's like a 23. So it's not quite flush, but being that the Rogue is copper and brass anyway, that actually looks pretty fucking diesel on there. If looks are important to you, there you go. Again, not the right build for that, but see what else this could look good on. I got some other mods. Regulated devices. Ah, this is going to look real nice on the IPv4S. Yeah, that's more like it. All right. Much better. That's a nice matchy-matchy. I overhangs it by about a 1/2 millimeter. Close enough, actually lines up real nicely with the hand grip on the 4S. I like that. And then if you're really pushing a big build, if you own a black rouleau, it's going to look really nice on a black rouleau. I can see this RDA sitting very pretty on a nice Filipino mech mod like Dos Equis or something of that nature. Here we got 100 watts. Look, fits nice. It's not flush, but it's certainly, that's a good form factor on the rouleau. And for that build, that's what you really want. It's handling 100 watts, no problem. Another thing I like about this RDA, you can just drip right down the drip tip. It's going to hit those posts and disperse, and the drip tip's wide enough for that. Got a nice wide deep juice well on this, so it can hold a lot of juice. Really nice RDA. What a great vape. If you want to close off some of that airflow, you just twist from the top cap part. So some negatives, well, not really negatives. It's brass, this one, so it's going to require cleaning fairly often. Whenever you're using brass or copper RDAs, you want to clean them often. Clean off that oxidized surface. It affects the flavor. Okay, guys, that's about it for the GOON RDA from 528 Customs and Blue Eyed Goon on Instagram. Thank you very much for watching this video. This is Quest for Vape.